benefit for students around the world taking the Maple Bear system is the fact they were immersed in the language. The only other way I can see that they would get that benefit is to move to an English language country. And since that's not always possible for people, I really feel this is the next best way to do it. When you walk into that building, into your school, you are in an English language location. And so those children have that benefit from anybody else who is taking English in a very traditional way, where an English teacher walks into a classroom, teaches for an hour, and walks out. In this situation, children are with that teacher the whole time, and English is the only language spoken, and it takes no time at all, and the students are also just using English. So that's a huge, huge advantage. Also, the teachers are trained, and so they know what methods to use with the children. So for example, I'm here in Mexico right now training a group of teachers, and they are so eager to keep doing it the Canadian way is their big question. And they're very eager, really enjoy it, and when they discover that the children can play, and by doing this play they're going to learn, they're amazed. A big thing that we use, because you're learning the language, is songs, chants, rhymes, poetry, because that gives the children the sound of that language, the lilt of the language. That's really important when you're learning to speak. So when they have a nursery rhyme, say, and they've been repeating it, it becomes second nature to them. They make the word in the proper way, because it's formed in a certain way, and if the teacher emphasizes that, that really helps that child become comfortable speaking English. So I just think it's that whole comfort level. There has to be the need for the language. For the children, the need is the fact they're in an immersion school and there's only going to be English spoken, so they need to do it. There has to be that willingness. And in the immersion program, the programs are so exciting, the children are very willing to be able to go over and do this work. And so I think it's just it's proven itself around the world. I think we have 109 schools now. It's a very effective way for children to be comfortable in the language and hopefully grow up, be adults who will be bilingual, and they will be able to go to any English country and survive nicely, or stay in their own country and still work in that language. Maple Bear is very different from the traditional method of learning because they are not memorizing things, they are not having major tests and exams. They are learning in a very meaningful way. They are learning by experience and by things that are happening in the life around them. And it's very, very nice because the children are just involved in the language. So instead of learning pat phrases, hello, how are you? I'm fine. Thank you. Where are you from? I'm from here. And then when you ask them just a little question that's slightly off, very often, oh my gosh, that's the end of the language. So we try to have it that children will be able to converse. So since English is now deemed the world's second language, or first language, second language for people in all these other cultures, you need to develop our children and have them grow so that when they are adults, they can converse in English in a meaningful and understandable way. Maple Bear system ensures global quality through the fact that it's the same curriculum being used in all of the countries. There are different ways that it is handled because of the educational laws of each country. So certain countries may require, especially when they're in the elementary level, that a certain amount of time be devoted to the child's first language. And so then the Maple Bear School will accommodate that. So we always work in conjunction with the education system of the country that we have our schools in. So far we've been very well received, and as I travel, I've worked in Korea, I've worked in Brazil, I've worked in Mexico, and it's a little bit different in each one. But it still remains that when you walk into a Maple Bear classroom and watch the teachers and the children in action, they're still doing the same things and following the same methodology.